All right, everyone, welcome back. There are a couple technical difficulties with the stream, but we're going to be getting started with top eight very shortly. But until then, let's talk about the top eight. Now, we started with 9 kid, and now we currently have remaining 5 kid, which means we lost a Kaido, we lost a Law, we lost a Luffy, and we lost a Dofi. So now we have 1 Kaido, 1 Law, 1 Luffy, and no Dofis remaining. So 5 Law in the top eight. Do you think Law is going to take it home?
No.
You,
Oh, you
I mean,
mean,
not Law. Oh my goodness, 5 Kid in the top eight. Do you think Kid is gonna take it home?
I think
Oof.
Kid's gonna take it home more than anything based off the players that I know are playing Kid. I know Law is a very strong deck
Mhm.
and it can beat the Kid,
Mhm.
but depending on the tiebreakers, depending on the matchups, if the Law player queues into maybe the final Luffy, into the final Kaido,
Mhm.
he might not even make it to the Kid, right? But it always depends on those little tiebreakers. I think the players that are playing the Kid, Andrew Duvall, Jonathan Rodriguez, Ying are fantastic players, and I believe that one of them will probably be the Treasure Cup champion.
It seems very possible. We will see. We will see. All of these players are, of course, very, very talented to have made it to top eight. They're all going to go home with a serial Luffy, which is exciting. And so we will. We will see players a lot less stressed. That top 16 match, that's a stressful one. But once you get into
Very
top eight,
stressful.
you get that serial Luffy. You're playing for playmats now.
Yeah.
You're a lot less, yeah, stressed. Now it's time to just take this victory
Well,
home.
well, it always depends, right? Because if all as a player, one of the most important things is winning, as opposed to the prize support. The prize support almost comes second in a
Hmm.
way, and what you really want is that notoriety, and being the first place, being second place, whatever that may be. Whatever the goal you set for yourself. So I really hope that these players achieve said goals. With that being
Absolutely.
said, I think we're going to transition over to our game
We
now.
are.
It is going to be Jonathan Rodriguez on Eustace Captain Kidd and Kevin Lay on Kaido.
Yes, now
Um,
Kaido. Very interesting. This is our last Kaido, last stronghold. I love Kaido, my favorite deck.
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
not rooting for anybody specifically, but I'm going to be very interested to see this matchup. Will the Kaido go first or second? If I do not recall off the top of my head, but I will check to see who gets to choose who goes first here. And in this matchup, the Kaido player is going to have to be at the will of Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets to pick. Rodriguez is 1 seed higher than the Kaido player, so he's going to pick whether Kaido goes first or second. Kaido, of course, likes to go second because you get the extra options for finding Onigashima. So if you go first, you draw 1 card by the time you can play Onigashima, and you don't take any damage. But if you go second, you draw a card for your first turn, you draw a card for the second turn, and if you take a damage, you get a third card. So you get 2 additional chances at seeing Onigashima. So Kaido really likes to go second as a result of that. Now, Kid is okay going first or second, but Kid also really does enjoy that extra card going second because it's one more card to protect that 8 drop with.
So it really depends, right? Because in this matchup, Kid doesn't, Kid has two, that's why it's a mid-range deck. Let me start off with that. And Kid has two very simple game plans about how you win the game. Either outvalue you infinitely, and I win off of the back of my 8 drop, which is a
Mm-hmm.
back-breaking card, or I out aggro you, and then I finish you off with my leader. In
Yep.
this specific matchup, you can choose to go either way depending on how you see the board state, but normally Kid is the aggressor, and being
Yes.
the aggressor in this matchup is very, very important. Does that mean Jonathan will say that he's going first? I'm not necessarily sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it can go either way. As
Yep.
at the same time, I'm not really sure what the Kaido's list looks like. If he has those cards that just fit better on the even curve,
Mm-hmm.
the Oni into the Brachio and things like that. I'm really not specifically sure what he was playing. But I did see his match before this one. He was playing against a Luffy player. He played fantastic. So I'm excited for this matchup and see how both of these players play it out. All right, so we got the all go ahead, and we'll see.
Um. Yep. So they'll be starting
I'll be starting momentarily. I
momentarily.
think the judges are setting everything up right now for all the.
All right. So they'll be starting here momentarily. Now I'm very. This is going to be very interesting for sure. The Kaido player is going to be whether he plays cards for the even curve or not, still wants to go second to find that Onigashima is very important in this matchup
I mean, if I
because
was the
when
Kaido
you
player, I'd be very excited for this matchup. He just came out from playing against a Luffy,
mhm,
so this seems a
is it
little bit,
a little
a
bit
little bit
better.
a breath of
Yeah.
fresh air, right? There are five kids in this final lineup.
Hmm.
If he's able to make it through this one, chances are he's playing against another one. And if you feel confident in that matchup, you might be able to breathe a little bit easier. In a best of three format, I think Kaido is a monster, right?
Absolutely.
Because you get more chances of not getting out varianced,
Hmm.
if you would, want to call it that. So therefore, those really very powerful turns that Kaido has will happen more and more often. So very, very strong to have Kaido in the top 16.
Absolutely. So, what we're looking to see here from Kaido's perspective.
Hit me with it.
So, I like Kaido's perspective more. I'm more of a Kaido player. So, from Kaido's perspective, what you're looking to see is you want to see queens, you want to see Kirishiros, and you want to see X-Drakes. You want these cards that
Who is
are.
Kirishiro?
Kirishiro is the 5/6 draw card if you have 8 Dom.
Okay, got it.
So, you want to see these kind of mid range cards that make the kid player want to play a 7 drop
Hmm.
and that make the kid player want to play an 8 drop. Because ultimately, what you want to do is have the kid player have two kaijus on the board. You want a 7 and an 8, or two sevens, and you want to be sitting at about 3 life or more
Hmm.
so that you can 10 drop comfortably.
Hmm.
And so your 5s and your 6s are very good at pressuring the kid, very good at putting them low. And then if you can do that, you can definitely capitalize on that situation.
Most certainly.
Yep, absolutely. So that's kind of what the Kaido's looking for. Now, from the kid's perspective, you're looking to get in some good damage. You want to open with Okiku, absolutely, because that answers Queen and below, which is great. Every card I just mentioned answered by Okiku. And so you want to see that Okiku, you want to see it before they get to King.
No,
Now,
certainly. The king really, it's just an easy answer to the
hmm
Okiku, but like I said, there's a lot of cards that have just fallen out of favor in Kaido. Even though King is such a powerful starter deck card, a 6 for 7, -1 Dawn,
yep.
KO a character, I don't really see it in many lists. They favored more the 7 cost King,
Mm,
the Brachial Bomber. So we're going to go start off here. It looks like Kid has started
yep.
the game going first with,
Which is interesting. Very interesting choice.
again,
So,
noting that he has to be the aggressor in this matchup,
hmm
right? Maybe that's what his thought process was. And
yep.
I think we're just fixing up a little issue with the,
Oh no, we're just mulliganing.
oh,
The,
we're
the
mulliganing.
the kid player just went ahead and put the Don out. It signifies he's going first too, which is actually very helpful for the stream.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Um, we do have one thing is that they need to use dice. I'm gonna go tell them they need to use dice. Entertain the stream.
Yeah, no worries. This is me entertaining the stream. How's it going, guys?
It's a me.
Let's see. I know we're having a little bit of a technical issues with the stream today, but I hope that we're still able to, you know, let you guys know what's going on. Let's see.
Okay, sorry about that. Now they've got some dice on their life, and we'll be able to, because especially with the white sleeves, it's just
It's
impossible,
very difficult.
impossible to tell how many
Everyone
life
was
he has
playing white
otherwise.
sleeves in like top 16, it feels.
Hmm.
It's
All
just
right.
the meta.
So now we've got Kaido is throwing his hand back, but he does get to go second, so he's got a little bit better RNG
Yeah,
for
it's exactly
finding
what
that.
you wanted. You know, as the
It is.
Kaido, this is what you wanted. You wanted to go second, as you were saying, get more chances at hitting the Onigashima.
Mm-hmm.
The kid player wants to go first, be
Yeah.
the aggressor, and we're in for a fantastic 3 games. So let's go ahead and see what the Kaido player does in this board state. Right, it looks like green is going to probably pass.
Mm-hmm.
What do you usually do on a pass? What are you
So,
trying to look for?
so that's interesting. So normally you want Higurashi in your hand because you can play the Higurashi.
Hmm.
The issue with that is that you get responded to by Okiku and Cat very well,
Hmm.
and the only reason I ever play Higurashi is to attack a 1 drop. So
Understood.
like now that the Momo has been played, or
Or
Black
Black
Maria in this
Maria.
case, yeah. So I'm looking to use this blocker as an attacker, just in case a blocker comes down or an Okiku comes down. I can go after something else potentially. Now,
Understood. So if like a,
unfortunately, Okiku does mean that the Momo won't turn sideways.
correct.
Now we see a 5. We're going to go ahead and take that hit.
Yeah, starting
And now we
again.
get punished by Okiku? No, Raizo.
Raizo,
Okay.
we're starting to see the Wano engine come in clutch. We have
Mm-hmm.
the Momo as well as the Raizo.
Let's draw 2 cards next turn.
That is literally draw 3 on the next turn and put pressure onto the board.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. So we're gonna go see 5 at face, and
I
this
think
is
we're going to see a
probably
4-cost Black Maria potentially.
can also be Oni.
If it's Oni, it
Oh,
would
we'll
have
see
been
Jack, which
okay.
is like a supplement to the Oni. I'm not a huge fan of
I
like discarding a card, but I understand that it is
Yeah.
what we must do.
So I love Jack. Jack is so good against red, and the reason is because
You have a
what you can
body.
do, when you go second, they play a Zoro, they swing. You can jack and then put 2 Don on your leader and go 7 back on the Zoro.
Oh, that feels
And
pretty nice.
and then you've got the body on the board to attack with too.
Very, very
So
nice.
Jack is actually very good at attacking small things. So that Jack trades into this Rizo beautifully.
Yeah,
Chef's
it
kiss.
definitely
Beautifully.
matches the board state that the kid player is putting
Hmm.
out 100%.
Yeah.
But the board state for the kid player is almost negligible.
Yeah. Now we see a Nico come down. That Nico could tap down Higurashi or Black Maria or Jack and let the opponent choose which blocker dies potentially.
Most certainly.
Yeah. So this will be very interesting. Are we seeing? No, okay. He's just asking how much Don do you have. I was going to say, are we seeing a pass with 4 Don up, no
No,
attack?
I don't see that happening here.
I
But
don't either. Has the kid attacked already? I don't believe so. I think he just did not switch it to active
no, the
mode.
kid hasn't
Okay,
attacked.
there we go.
So we'll go 5 at lead.
Yeah, 5 at lead.
Draw
Now,
with the Razo.
interestingly enough, you don't actually have to attach a Don to Rizo to draw a card.
No, but
So
by
if he had
attaching the
chosen,
Don.
well, right, but if he had chosen to play Neko,
Mhm.
he could have swung with the Rizo without using the Don and still got the draw and cleared a
100%.
card.
I
So
don't
just
necessarily
an
think you
option.
would clear the card, but but you wanted to put the pressure. Once again, he has to take
Hmm.
the aggressive seat, right? So he has to check him for 5
Yeah.
constantly and make him discard cards. Especially when he plays Jack, he's down a card,
Hmm.
and now we have Okiku. Okiku's
Now,
another pressure card.
that Okiku is in danger. So we're going to 7 Don.
Most certainly.
And so what we're looking for from Kaido's side right now,
7 drop
7 drop
king.
king. Absolutely. Now that kind of tells you he doesn't have a
We
7
don't
drop.
have 7 drop
But he
king.
could have a
But
6
we could
drop
have a 6 drop.
or a
Exactly.
Brachio bomb.
So I'm expecting,
And
yeah.
we see that there's 6
So
Don
there's
left
6
up.
Don
So
left.
that's concerning. That's concerning. And there goes the Rizo. And then we're going to probably see some kind of
What would you prefer, a king or a Brachio bomber here if you were the Kaido player?
uh Brachio bomb ramps you when you don't have Oni. Ooh, Queen though. That
That doesn't feel
Okiku,
great.
that does not. And it's very interesting. He swung with Black Maria instead of the Jack on the Momo. He definitely could have done this same play in a different sequence and left the blocker up. He could have gone Kaido attack Rizo first,
Hmm.
and then if it goes down, then your Jack doesn't need to be a backup plan for it. So Jack can attack, and now you have Maria,
Correct.
and you have another blocker because this Okiku is going to tap that queen down,
Hmm.
and then it's going to be very hard to defend your life or the queen, whatever Kid wants to go for. And Kid has free reign.
The thing is, by setting up, he has 3 blockers, right? And once again, Kid really wants to ignore the board state as much as possible and just go face. Just keep going face as much as you can. Put it down
Hmm.
to 1. Make sure that the 10 drop is not an option. Then turtle back, right? Play the mid-range game plan. Force him to 10, and then finish the game off your leader. The thing is, we can't ignore 3 blockers. And now the Jack is also going to
The
be turning
Jack is
sideways.
attacking. Yes.
So this is juicy enough, in my opinion, to have the Okiku, instead of going face, go for the board.
He took the dice off again. I'm gonna go fix that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So from here, you have the perfect number, right? Because you don't want to attach maybe 2 Don to Okiku. By attaching 1 Don to Okiku, she's a 6 on 4. He still chooses to go 7 instead. And let's see where this Okiku is attacking. He's going to go ahead and tap the blocker, but where is he declaring the attack? So he's going to go ahead and tap the medium-sized blocker. So if he was never planning on tapping the
Interesting.
queen,
We're not gonna tap the queen down. So we're gonna.
I don't like this Don usage personally. I'm just being honest because
You don't like 7 here?
I don't like 7 if we kept the queen up, right? Because we're
Yep.
not 2 above. If we were tapping the queen, then 7 is absolutely fine,
Mm-hmm.
but we chose not to.
Yeah, and now we're gonna see
And
a very free
are
block
we
here.
gonna defend this queen as well?
Oh, yeah,
That's so
absolutely.
bizarre. So
Absolutely.
he has 5 Don here, and I can easily see the kid just go face here.
We could. I think we might see a Law put Okiku back, play Okiku, or we could see
Yeah.
a Basil come down. We're gonna see a Law put Okiku, play Okiku. Yep, absolutely. Which is a spectacular play.
Okay.
Now you're at 3 life, and your Kaido opponent has 1
Did
or
the
2 blockers.
did
You
the
know,
kid swing?
the
Yes, he
leader
did.
did.
He
Yes,
did.
the
He
leader
did.
did swing. The
Okay.
leader did do a damage as
All
well.
right. So we're down to 2 life, and
We're
as
at
the
8
purple player,
Don.
but we're at 8 Don, and the kid is still at. He's at 3 life. We have 4 bodies on the board. Doesn't look
Mhm.
bad from the Kaido's perspective at all, but it's not necessarily ideal either.
I'll be honest with you, Kaido's actually in a little bit of trouble right now.
They're both kind of in a lot of trouble. It can really go either way, I
It
think.
can. It absolutely could.
These next couple turns are going to be pivotal, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they end up playing it out. So he's going to go 5 on 5, and that's just a free block here. Again, your board is without consequence.
Yeah.
So again, notifying that he's going to go 8 on 6. Very good
Yep.
numbers. He's
We're
going to force a couple cards out of the kid's player's hand. He chooses not to, but by swinging with the queen, he has one less blocker for the following turn.
That's okay. Queen attacks. Queen
No,
definitely
100%.
attacks.
I'm not. Oh,
And we have another one, so it's fine. It's still Kaido.
yeah,
If your hand is not boss monsters, if your hand is not Onigashima, it's blockers.
true, true.
So now will we see Queen discard an Onigashima? Queen does like to do that,
At
and
this
we
point
do.
in time,
We
wow,
absolutely do.
true combo,
Absolutely do.
the real combo, the real Kaido players do
Hmm.
that, man.
They really,
So
yeah.
they really do.
That's how you know that queen. That's a good queen.
That is a solid
That queen
queen.
might get tapped down by Okiku for being that intimidating.
Now, he still has one Dawn active, and I believe you just keep the
He,
Dawn here at this point in time,
yeah.
especially if you have a blast breath. But
Well, he
he's
could go 5 too. So you really want to put Kid to 2. If you put Kid to 2, he's in lethal range. Kid attacks twice, but Kaido burns.
this is true.
So both
It's
players
very
have to
similar.
be they have to be respectful of what's going on. So the Kid player will counter out of that.
I guess with having such a large hand of blockers, you don't feel too bad. So the kid is going to swing 5 at phase, which is again a free block similar
Yeah,
to how
free
the law
block.
blocked
Absolutely
Kaido.
free.
And let's see where this Okiku
And
goes
we
from
see an 8
here.
drop. We see an 8 drop come down.
Interesting.
So that means the Kid is feeling threatened right now.
100%.
But will this be a tempo 8 drop, or are we going to go ahead and use its effect? And that's a real question. So the amount he feels threatened is
Is that
determined
it's
by this, and he feels threatened.
it is. It is enough. So he's going to go swing with this Okiku as well.
And we see no play off of the 8 drop. I think the Kid player's hand might not be very good.
Or it could be a ton of counter power.
It could. It could.
Let me see if I can move this camera around because
It's difficult to tell. It's definitely a Momo, a law. It doesn't look like that much counter power, actually.
yeah, there we go. I think we can
Yeah.
do that. And now we can see his hand much, much better.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, he's got a good number of cards in his hand to protect this 8 drop. This 8 drop's probably not going down this turn.
No, most certainly.
Yeah. With
Wow.
no blocker, you could go 14 on it, I guess, with your leader,
There are
or
It's 7 to 8
or
cards in the
15.
used his kid's hand, though. So that is in itself is an intimidating number.
Mhm.
So that already puts, even if there is no combo, right? You have to be afraid and you have to be very much respectful of
Yeah,
those
I
cards.
mean, an option that does exist. You put 9 Dawn on Queen, go 15 on it.
That is an option that exists in this universe.
It
Sure.
it is. You have blockers. You're not scared necessarily.
But is he powerful enough to do that play? Does he have
Yes,
the
he is.
strength?
Yes, he does. Okay,
He
so
has the strength.
this looks like 13. I think he has 2 Dawn left. He just put them face down, and there it goes. And just like that, we're like, you know what? It's gone now. And so 3 Dawn remaining, which means that we can go after this Okiku pretty easily here.
100%. I would love 2 Dawn on the Kaido to go on the Okiku. This one just says
Just
remove
5,
a
and it's
card.
gone. And it's
Dang,
gone. And
that's
we are
crazy.
we're gonna go ahead and swing with this Jack.
Wow. What is happening?
Go to 2. Okay. That's a basil. That's not spectacular. Not what you
No,
want to
no.
see here. It
There's,
looks like double Bonnie though. We can
and
definitely
definitely at
find.
this point in time, we swing with the Queen and we're down to 1 life on the kid
Yes.
player's side. And
And there's
I
another blocker. Now, here's an interesting thing. So that last life, Kaido doesn't actually need to burn it on this
no,
board state.
most
Kaido could just
certainly.
swing a 5, and if he takes it, now I can put all my Dawn on everything else.
No, he just starts checking everyone as low as possible, right?
Mhm.
Swing with leader 5, Jack for 5, Queen for 6, and then
Yep.
Queen for 1 billion.
Now we can finally see the kid player's hand very clearly here. And what we see is that it's got 2 laws in it, and that's about it.
Oh boy.
Everything else is counter power or Bonnie's.
Well,
Bonnie Momo. Momo doesn't exactly find what we need right now. So Bonnie, I think, is probably what we want to try to find. We're going to play a Basil, which is a strong card.
but not in a board state like
No,
this. Basil
absolutely
is a
not.
fantastic card once you're
We're
ahead.
attacking Jack now.
Yeah.
That's very telling.
Yeah.
And the Jack goes down because we want to go ahead and play a 5th card next turn anyway.
there's a part of me that would take that block.
No. I think that the Jack going down is perfectly acceptable there. Now, if you're Kaido here, you're looking for a 9 drop. 9 drop is just perfect on this
Oh, 9
board
drop
state.
is crazy.
Yeah, 9 drop is crazy
9
on
drop
this
goes
board state.
hard. Oh boy.
And if you are Rodriguez, you're hoping not to see a 9 drop.
I don't
And he
want-
it looks like he concedes. He
Yeah,
just
he
he just
just
concedes. He
concedes it.
sees the writing on the wall. He knows what's going on. He's like, yeah, it's just not.
It's a
We're
best
not
of
getting
three. Yeah,
anywhere.
it's a best of
It's a best
three.
of
You
three.
have a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
You might as well just
hmm
scoop it up when you don't got it and move
And
on to the next one.
that is a sign of a seasoned player right there, recognizing when you've lost and not burning 17 more minutes to lose. And
Well,
again, top eight, they both got their serial card.
no, 100%
So,
right. So they should be excited either way.
yeah,
But once
absolutely.
again, you'd still want that win.
hmm And sorry,
That's what
everybody
really
watching,
drives.
for the technical difficulties. I know that there are a few right now. We are doing our best to handle these. But we're back right now, and we're going to go into game two. Kaido did, in fact, win game one pretty commandingly. I do believe that the kid player's hand was not all that spectacular. He played the 8 drop and hoped it was enough. And like I was saying,
You
let's
just
put
chuck
everything
everything
on
out
this
and
queen.
yeah.
You know what? You have no blockers. I'm just taking this kid out.
Yep.
You want to stand behind this kid and keep this Okiku up? No. No, I'm not going to let you do that. And then he kept 3 more Dawn up so he could go 8 on it if he needed to,
No, no,
or
it
9
was
on it with a
fantastic.
queen.
It
It's
was
just,
and that was all done without the stage.
that was,
Let's start off
yes,
with let's just say that
correct.
this was brought
Oh,
to you by
not
Jack,
Onigashima.
not on Onigashima, and Jack on
hmm
4.
And that shows how powerful Jack is. And that is why I love that card. And I played 2 of that card myself because he attacks,
Most
which is
certainly.
so
No, he
necessary.
has a great stat line. Being a 3/4 is
hmm
very, very solid.
Yep.
Think of it as a Raizo. He has combo power, literally the same concept. The only thing is that he ramps you, which is your deck's entire purpose.
Yep.
So, very fantastic card. And in the board state that he came down on, which was in an aggressive board state,
hmm
he definitely handled it
Yep.
very, very well.
And that active mode Dawn is so flexible.
Yep.
So very flexible. Now, the kid player let Kaido go second last game. I think that was not the best choice. I wonder if now he's going to choose for Kaido to go first.
So this is something that I used to see a lot of in other previous TCGs, right? So when
hmm
you lose on a game and let's say you chose to go first and you lost, you're like,
S-
whoopsie, maybe
Oof.
that was wrong, so maybe I'll go second,
I
you
think
know?
Kaido just snap kept that hand.
Scary, scary,
Yeah, yeah.
scary.
We know one card in that hand if he did.
I might even be able to guess two.
hmm
Let me try
Now,
before he reveals the hand. I'm gonna say Onigashima
yeah,
and 9 drop.
yeah.
Let's see if he kept that. All right, so the kid player. Yep, the kid player is going first once again, and yeah, perfect. So he didn't get baited by the idea of losing the first game. So we're gonna go start off with the kid, and do we see a play on 1?
I still think Kid should have told Kaido to go first.
You're
Okay.
you're probably not wrong in
Yeah.
that, but
Now,
in this specific situation where he has blocker into Oni, we're gonna no matter how it happened, it was gonna be a very good start from
yeah,
Kaido.
absolutely. So we see the swing here, and we're going to take it, and now we
Easy
get to
take.
Okiku punish.
Yep.
And there it is. So, short of a who's who, that blocker does nothing.
As a Kaido enjoyer that you are, how do you feel about Who's Who? I
Meta
seem like
dependent. It's
it
meta
seems like
dependent.
it's fallen out of favor recently, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Now this is cool. If he has Jack here, he can actually make 2 swings this turn using the blocker. Let's see it. Let's see it. It's Oni. Okay,
No,
we
we
know
have
what
to
it is.
establish
We
the
know what
Oni,
it is.
you have to establish it early so that you start getting the value that it brings every other turn
Yeah.
after that, being a
hmm
field spell, being that continuous ability.
Yeah.
Let's
Being
get
a
that out.
stage.
Yeah,
Being
let's
a
get that
stage.
out as early as possible.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's very pivotal. Onigashima ramps you in the early game, but that's not the important part. You have so many cards that ramp. It's not the ramp that you need. It's the sustain.
100%.
It sustains your
It
Dawn through
sustains
your
the Dawn,
effects. Like your Queen
correct.
is free. Your King 6 drop is free. Your King 7 drop costs 1
Doesn't
less.
feel as
Like it's
bad.
so important.
That's what it comes down to. Maybe it's not about the ramp aspect because this turn it ramps, right? This is a pass to
Sure, but
ramp.
so would Jack. So would
Correct.
Alti. So would the 4 drop from the film movie. Like
Correct.
it's so important for that sustain. That's the
That
thing that really
continuous
matters.
stage ability.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see a 7 here that will
Will
tap,
it will do a damage
and
as well.
7 is a good number to
Yep.
swing with. I like this.
We're probably gonna see the kid go after the
Kid, go after
blocker.
the blocker.
hmm
Yes, we're not going to let
Absolutely.
him have a board of blockers
Yeah.
again. That was
No,
not a good idea.
no
And
more of
then
that.
let's go and rise up on a good attacking stat line.
Now this Raizo is very good. If there's a Bonnie or a Momo in the hand, that Raizo will get to draw a card next turn, even if Okiku goes down. But we're on 7 Don. If there's a 7 drop in that hand right now,
Or even a 6 drop. It still feels
even a
pretty
six
good, right?
drop,
Because
yeah.
you can still chase this Okiku down, and then even if he
Mm-hmm.
defends it, you can then end it off with the 6
Yep.
drop, and then pop the Raizo, so the Okiku isn't really going to get value.
Absolutely. Like you can swing on the Okiku, have your opponent counter a card, and then
There
destroy
you
it
go.
anyway.
There you go.
Yeah. See, I'm scared right now. If I'm Kid, I don't want to let the Okiku die because if it dies, then so does Raizo. But if I defend it, I'm just like burning cards out of my hand.
So yeah, no, but like this, the Cat Vipers in this matchup don't feel great, so you don't feel bad discarding it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very okay with that one. And then what will we see the Kaido player do from here? He has a lot of Dawn at his disposal.
He does. He has enough Dawn to go ahead and play some kind of a big guy. We might see a vanilla. We do see a vanilla. Okay.
Chungus, he just slams down big
Okay,
Chungus.
so now that vanilla, this is a 7-9 stat line,
Hmm.
trades so favorably into the 8 drop. One Dawn,
One
and
Dawn and
your
he's a
opponent has
10.
to counter 2 cards,
100%.
minimum. And so, like this big guy, it's hard for Kid to clear. It's very, very difficult to clear.
And as you said, we have the Bonnie. This is going to be a double draw turn. This has to be an aggressive turn because if you think about it, this is a very pass turn.
Now, we do see options in that hand, including a Law from those top 5. He could have taken the Law, could have gone with the Rhizo draw a single card with no value, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants
No,
to get some value out of this Rhizo swing. I respect it. I respect it. And so, are we going to go to 2? If we're Kaido here, we are not. We're going to go ahead and use the Black Maria in hand to essentially block that attack. We're going to counter out of it.
correct.
Yep.
But this is a turn where I think Kid really needs to put down the pressure.
Hmm. Now we're playing a second Bonnie, and the funny part of that is that that Bonnie might get attacked by a 9K. We really need a 7 drop on Kaido's side to kind of answer this.
To
And
kind of,
for Kid, we're just looking to keep putting pressure on. That's it. From Kid's perspective, I just keep turning my cards sideways.
I don't like the 6 attack.
The 6 attack is fine because the opponent has discarded so many 2K counters. At this point, I'm okay with the 6 attack. Just he had 1 Don left over,
And he
nothing
left
else
it
to
for
do
the
with it.
veggie.
Yeah, and he used it for Beige.
That's fine, I guess.
So like, I mean, this is a board state where you feel like 10 drop is necessary,
And
and
then he has the
then
8
he has
drop in
the A
hand.
drop to come back from it. Yeah.
And this is exactly what you wanted as the Kid player, right? To
Hmm.
put that pressure, make it so that your opponent has to 10, and then once they do, you reestablish on the crackback.
Absolutely. Now we see the 7. Now that
The 7 is almost good.
heartbreaking.
It's almost good enough.
It is good enough. That 7 clears 4 cards this turn. Heartbreaking from the perspective of the Kid player. You did not want to see that. You wanted 10 drop. You wanted to see that 10 drop come
Yeah, he
down.
wanted to see everything go down, right? His
Yeah.
Dawn, his characters.
Interesting. So he took out the Rhizo instead of taking out the Bonnie. Bonnie requires a Dawn to draw a card. Rhizo doesn't, but Bonnie can draw a specific card.
Well, I think I agree with that because Bonnie's not an attacking number whatsoever, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
what is that?
Mm.
So Bonnie will go ahead and not be able to attack, where Raizo could be an attacking number for the
Yep.
opponent. And again, he's on the back foot, and he said, "Well, you can have all the value you want. I'm
Sure.
going to win this game over board control."
Yep. For Rhizo to be an attacking number, though, it would require a Momo or the 8-drop kid to come down and use its effect.
Well,
Otherwise, it's
if you
just a
wanted the
5.
Dawn,
Otherwise, it's just a
If
5.
you wanted the, I mean, sorry, if you wanted the draw out of it, but if
Yeah.
you just want to do the damage, it's
It's
irrelevant.
just 1 Dawn, yeah.
Yeah. So at this point in time, I do think the Kaido's hand is starting to look a little bit slim. He has
It
3
is.
cards in hand.
It is. He
Um,
he had to aggressively defend himself last turn. Try to stay at 3 life.
and we're gonna go ahead and look at the king.
Okay.
Okay, just wanted to make sure
Yep.
everything was
It,
kosher
it
there.
is in fact a king.
That is a king.
Yeah.
Not all tart though.
No, it's not. He's not hot.
He's
It's
not
it's a
hot.
shame. It's
Yeah,
such a shame.
understood.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and see what the Kid player wants to do here. You know, the -2 Dawn doesn't really do much to him. He still
No.
is available at 10 Dawn on the following
Yes.
turn because of Onigashima, and even if he didn't have Onigashima, he'd still be at 10 Dawn.
Hmm.
But I guess we'll have to see how the Kid player wants to respond. I think
Yeah.
starting off with Bonnie is not a bad start.
Yeah, the kid players is staring down kind of a scary board. That's a very good card. Where we see that Punk Gibson, we don't even think about it. We're just yoink.
So the Punk Gibson, and now he's gonna go attack for 5, right? This 5 is really, really solid. But if I was the Kaido player, I
We're
might.
gonna blast breath out of it, and then
He,
here's an 8-drop.
uh,
But this is probably just a tempo 8, and it is just a tempo
it's
8.
just a tempo 8.
We're not turning this sideways, not yet.
There's no need to. The issue is I'm concerned on the block aspect. Like if I saw Punk Gibson in hand and I had a low cost blocker,
Hmm.
I think I would have blocked there. And maybe that's what the kid
That's what
was
he
trying to
wanted.
bait.
That's what he wanted. He wanted him to block there so that the 8-drop could come down unimpeded, no blocker left.
Most certainly.
Because he wanted to play the 8-drop there regardless. And so the Punk Gibson was not for this turn. And the Kaido player countered out instead.
Yeah, but the next turn there's going to be a lot of gas coming at the kid player at the Kaido player's leader. So he's going to have to go ahead and be able to defend what's coming his
Mhm.
way.
Technically threatening lethal this turn, though. Higurashi can attack. It is technically threatening lethal with the leader effect.
I mean, I guess, yeah, that's not wrong. You can put a couple Dawn there, a couple Dawn here, you know?
All right, so we've
But I
got
feel like the Useless player has so many cards in hand that, again, it's just a little threatening. I think there's
yeah,
6 cards in the Captain Kid's hand. And if you
hmm
give him an additional 3,
yeah.
that's a lot.
See, I think you probably could have just pushed 5 there. I think 5 instead of 7 with the leader attack. You really,
You
you're.
wanted to feel it out, maybe, is what you're trying to get at, right? Because you have
I
two
want him to.
sevens on the board
I
anyways.
actually just want him to counter a card. The 8 drop on the board. The more cards I give him, the harder it is to get it off the board. I would much rather my opponent just
Remove
counter a
cards.
card, get rid of a card from his hand.
But I think, Jonathan being very well versed in this matchup, I think
hmm
he would have just taken the hit anyways, understanding that
Well, that's the
that is
point.
his
But
win
then you have 2
condition,
more
but then you
Don.
have more Dawn
Yeah.
available to you to then play another blocker.
Or
Understood.
or go in.
Sure.
You
Sure,
could.
sure, sure.
So Kid is at 2 now. So the 9K probably does 1 damage.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of Don left. We
Oh
could
boy.
use Higurashi to take out the Bonnie. Kid player is going to hide behind this 8 drop.
100%.
Could double 8 drop if he really
100%.
wanted to. Next turn if he has one.
I don't think so. I think you have to keep the Punk Gibson alive just to have some sort of defense for your A drop,
hmm
and you don't really have much more time, right? The game is now getting to that really tense point where it's going to fall in maybe 3 to 4 turns.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's still some game to be played, but now you're getting to the point where your decisions matter.
Like you're starting to see like that peak.
hmm
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and see how the Kaido player wants to move from here. And there's a lot of Dawn being picked up by the Kaido
Yeah.
player. And is that going to be shoved under the Higurashi?
I don't know. Are we going to Otama Jet Pistol? Let's go, Kaido.
Bro, oh my
So
God,
we
he's
are
feeling
we're
it.
threatening lethal. We are actually going to attempt lethal this turn.
Two, three,
That's
four,
an 8.
five. That's an 8. He is a feeling it.
So it's an 8 and you have to get out of this. You have no choice. Because you've got a 12 coming at you if you don't. And we see only one 2K counter.
Dang.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Big. Now do you go 9 into Bonnie?
I feel like this 9 attacking is kind of scary. Am I crazy?
You go 9 into
Because
Bonnie. You don't actually need to push this damage because of your leader effect.
uh,
You think it's scary because then
when
you
I
can
think it's
attack
scary
it
because
back.
then he can clear his board a little bit easier. There's only
Yeah.
3 to 4 cards in the Kaido player's hand, and
Yeah.
if he loses his hand, if he doesn't see the 10 drop, he
Mhm.
will just lose.
Well, I think if you go for the Bonnie, he's been playing like he has a 10 drop this entire game. If you go for the Bonnie right now and your opponent focuses on board, your 10 drop is great. Because he's been
100%.
protecting that third life this entire game like he has a 10 drop in his hand. And so the hesitancy here makes me feel like he doesn't, and he's just been protecting that
I'm
third
looking
life.
at it. There's a king, there's a Blast Breath, and Onigashima.
Mm.
There's maybe one more card. I'm gonna go see if I can fix the hand one more time.
On the other side this time.
There we go. Now
Yeah,
we have,
it's just 3, and they're not a great 3.
yeah, no, they're really fake. So I really like that he went for lethal there, understanding that that was his win condition.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what happens now?
Now you still have a board.
Sure. That's what I'm saying. You can hold that Chungus. And
Yeah.
if you hold the Chungus, then you threaten the 8 drop on the next turn. But if you swing with the Chungus, then we're in quite a pickle.
Yeah, now the real issue here is blockers in Kid's hand. Like, what Kid wants right now is a bunch of blockers, and what Kaido doesn't want to see is a bunch of blockers. Because Kaido's got big boys on the board.
100%.
Kaido is not worried about taking out that 8 drop.
It is the reverse of the previous game, right? A bunch
Mhm.
of blockers into big cards.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll just do it. These really weenie blockers, 1K, 2K,
Yep.
3K, they'll get
So
there.
you can tell Jonathan is a Dragon Ball player. He has his board set up like a Dragon Ball board. With his leader over on the left and his deck way off the playmat.
That's interesting. He's choosing to go 9 at face with the 8 drop as opposed to the king. And
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to go seat 5. We'll pick up the Bonnie because he's playing
He's
Law.
playing Law, yeah. He's just
Law will bounce the Bonnie. We'll replay maybe
Killer.
a blocker, an Okiku.
Beige. Okay, so Beige.
Okay. I'm going to go with Capone now. Can't mess up Capone.
And then we leave 2 up for the very well-known Punk Gibson.
Yeah.
So with 2 blockers on the board, we can't just put everything on the big guy and go in on that kid.
I do like that he poked 1 damage this turn.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very nice. And the Kaido player basically has to finish his turn with, he has 9
Yeah.
Dawn available. Let's put it that way.
Well, I mean, the attack on face was right there because 9 on leader does a damage. 9 on anything else just does nothing because of Blast Breath or Bagawa.
True.
If you respect your opponent playing Kaido, they've got Blast Breath and Bagawa.
100%. But I just don't mind burning it either, if
I-
that sounds
yeah.
correct.
So 9 on the 8.
9 on an 8 is not
Well,
great.
he did just see, and there. Okay,
Oh
there we
my
go.
goodness, this guy's cracked.
There we go. So that was a draw. That was a draw and a half.
Wow, wow,
Um,
wow, wow. That really changes the whole scenario of the game, right? Because
it does.
had he not had that 10
Mm.
drop, we're looking at a completely
Now
different
we go
game.
5. You shouldn't take that hit,
That hit
actually.
is terrifying.
Yeah, because now we can burn 12. Do 12k. We have a king in hand. We don't even need to burn necessarily.
Oh boy, oh boy. So we'll see
And we see
another
another
8
8
drop.
drop. And we're
But
that's it's coming in sideways.
I
This is
don't
not
know if this 8 drop is enough. That's the issue. So we're gonna go see
um
and summon a killer
now
from hand.
8 plus killer is pretty good, but the
We're gonna
issue
need a Veggie as well. That's the
well,
thing. That king is gonna go
that king is gonna
really
go so
hard.
in. Yeah, that king is gonna do a lot. This is damage. So which is scary. It's very scary.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So
Here
what
we
are we
go.
seeing this turn?
So it's not anywhere near over. We do have some counter power, but that kid is big. We
Yeah.
only have to be able to get out of 112k.
It's basically a stall a turn at this point in time. That's all he wants it to be. You're down
So
to 1, stall
we
a
have
turn.
3-6. We play king, then we go 12 on the kid and hope it's enough. And if it's not, we go to game 3.
He also has a bunch of blockers in hand that he might get baited into playing, try to become the defensive player.
That's not.
It's
This is
so
not the
tough.
position. This is not the position for that.
You still have a blast breath in hand.
It's king. No, king is the correct play,
It
and he
has to be,
recognizes.
yeah.
And then you have to go 12 on it and hope it's enough. And it is
It is not
not.
enough.
It is
Oh,
not
he had been playing like
enough.
he didn't have 2Ks. Oh,
Wow.
JK, he had 2Ks.
Well, there
Well,
you go.
and that's game 3.
Most likely. Most likely.
Yeah, and there's no way we can defend with 1 Dawn up
Yeah.
a 9,
You
11,
can't.
11.
No.
There's just no way.
There's no way.
So we'll start with the smallest hit, which is, funnily enough,
A
9.
9.
Yikes.
So we'll probably just see the blast breath.
Blast breath plus a
come
card?
down here,
Sure,
yeah.
man.
And just hope the opponent doesn't do what Kid does. But I mean, there's no way.
Yeah,
Jonathan
no.
definitely, yeah. See,
Yup,
we just
and can you block an 11?
twice.
Red Hawk insecurity?
So yeah, Jonathan looks at hand. Yeah, these cards are useless. We're gonna
It,
just
it,
go
it
ahead
does not matter. Even if they're a good card, you
Mhm.
just
they're useless.
does not matter.
Good cards, nah. Oh,
What is
and
he?
this
What
is
is
what
he
you hope for.
afraid of?
This is what you hope for as the Kaido player.
He
You
has
hope
two-
the Kid player
2
doesn't.
cards in hand.
Yeah, you hope the Kid player doesn't.
Let's say
do
he
it.
has 2 2Ks, right? And he
Mhm.
draws the third 2K.
Mhm.
Even the third 2K
Mhm.
doesn't stop an 11. That's just math.
So he's got 3 cards in hand. That goes
He has,
9. Yes, it
oh,
does.
no.
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
sorry.
Yes, it does.
He has 3 in hand. I thought he had 2
No,
and he
he
was
has
going
3.
to 3.
3 in hand. So Jonathan is trying not to lose the game right now.
He's trying to
And
not
he's
lose
thinking
to
about how do
triple
I not
2K
lose?
plus a combo from life.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's like, how do I not lose to my opponent having the perfect hand? Sometimes you got to put him on gotta have it. He's
There's
not.
no way,
He's
man.
not. He's going to play a 7 drop instead. He can't guarantee the win, so he's not going to go for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's terrifying.
Now, Kaido cannot take this damage. You have to counter. You just counter with the 2K.
That's so terrifying.
You do not. You counter with the 2K. Yep.
Yep. No,
Perfect.
you're absolutely right.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna see the 7 drop keep 2 up for the punk. Oh boy, oh boy.
That's a very passive play. Now Kaido might still be in a position where he just cannot win the game.
I don't think he's in a position to win this game, but that was a very hype turn, if you will. You know,
It was.
he wanted to play around triple 2K.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, we can very easily go 12 at the 8 drop. That'll get Punk Gibson and another card out of the hand.
Correct.
And then we can go put a Don on King, go 8 at it if we really wanted to, or we could try a little harder. And then the beauty of it is because of our burn. So we can actually just start this turn by investing 6 Don in our leader and going after the kid. Because if that succeeds, then we can burn 7. And then we've got 12K and 3, 6, and a 10K. 9K. So we've got a 9 and a 12.
I think if you attach 6 here, you just get blocked by the 7 drop.
That's fine.
But then you don't have enough to defend yourself on the crackback, no?
You already don't.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Okay, so
You already you have to
you
win the
have to
game.
denote that this is
Yeah.
your final turn.
You have to win
And
the
if you're
game this
able to
turn.
denote that, then is when you go forward from
Yeah.
there. Okay,
Now he
understandable.
does have one blocker, but it's
It's
Higurashi.
not gonna.
If it's not Queen, it's not good enough in this position because Nico is a card,
Yeah, you
and
lose to Cat Viper, you lose to Ezo. It's irrelevant.
we've seen Rodriguez being super cautious with his momos. He's saving them to find the Cat Viper, to find the Nico Mamushi.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go ahead and see. He's looking like he's gonna go ahead and attach a Dawn here,
Yeah.
kind of
Go
respecting.
13. Yeah, he's
He's
respecting.
respecting the Punk Gibson. It's well known.
Yeah.
The issue is he's not respecting Punk Gibson 2K,
Mm-hmm.
which is understandable. He just dropped a bunch of them.
Yep. And we're just gonna see a 12, and
No Dawn
and we're
investment
just gonna go and
is
block.
great.
Just, no.
Yeah, the 7 drop is not necessary to win the game.
My 7 drop was a beige.
Yeah. I paid 7 for a
Mhm.
Capone.
Okay, so see, this is the 6, but this is not the.
Well, this is 5
This is-
actually. This
oh.
is another 12.
This is 5. This is a 12. 12 is good. 13.
I think this just fetches the entire hand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Because at this point in time, he cannot have enough Dawn to check him one more time. Had he put one less, he could still attack with leader, but it's not going to do much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're Kaido, you move to the next one. Like, there's no way your opponent doesn't go for lethal 2 turns in a row.
It's fine, yeah. So again, one more time. Now there are how many cards in the Kaido player's hand? Let's go ahead and count. There are 2, so there is no feasible way this time that it'll work. So we will go 9, 11, 11.
Yeah.
Certainly, right?
Oh, certainly. And we just go ahead. That's enough. Honestly, though, Kaido should not have gotten another turn. So
I respect it. Like, he was trying to play around a position that could put, like, a very slim chance of losing an unlosable game. The issue is it is Kaido.
it's Kaido.
It's Kaido. How
It's
many
Kaido.
non-counters do they have in hand?
So many.
An insane amount.
Yeah.
But they also have an insane amount of 2Ks.
That he
So,
already burned early in the game.
True. If you want to start doing, like, variance and probability, the chances are probably in his favor to win there. But he didn't want to lose on, like, a 2% or something, you know? And I respect that.
Absolutely.
That's pretty solid.
Absolutely. So, as we continue forward here, we've got 25 minutes in the round. Kaido finally gets to choose whether he wants to go first or second. I think he still should choose second, but we'll actually see. We finally get some insight into this Kaido
We'll
player's
get an insight to Kaido's mind.
thoughts.
Into some of that brain.
So this will be pretty interesting going into Game 3. It's been a great set so far. Very, very good.
Certainly. Game 2 was really well played by both players. Jonathan was able to get a more aggressive start this time, and the Kaido player was defending as much as possible, having the Oni, playing the Chungus, and knowing when to hold back. So it was really, really solid. Top decking the 10 drop. Oh,
Huge, huge. No queens.
no queens. True. But, man, that 10 drop draw was insane.
And Jonathan was ready for it.
Yeah, no.
Just slammed that 8
Contingency
drop.
plans,
Just,
yeah.
Like,
Oh, all
8 drop
right.
just comes out rested. Just boop.
Yeah. And summon killer go.
Yep.
All right, so we'll go ahead and see into the mind of a purple player. And once again, chat, sorry about the technical issues that are happening. Trying to do our best to work with what we can. Either way, the VOD for this entire stream will be up on the PPG YouTube channel
Yep.
later this week. So yes, Kid was able to take game 2. We are now going into game 3.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'll just to recap the way the game ended was the Kid player played around 3 cards in hand, thinking they were all 2Ks. Give him an extra turn by playing a 7 drop. The Kaido player was not able to finish off the game, burned the entire Kid player's hand, and then Kid won on the crackback with only 2 in hand for the Kaido player.
Yep, absolutely. So Kaido player gets to choose. We have 23 minutes left in our top 8 match. Game 3. Well, we're just shuffling up here. And we are waiting for these 2 players to get going. While we're waiting, what do you think?
Oh man,
We've seen both of them play.
they're both good players.
Who's gonna take
it? It's looking very 50-50, but you know what? I'm not even gonna. If I didn't know that if Jonathan wasn't my boy, I might even go for the Kaido player here, but I gotta go for the homies. Yeah, and I hope the
We're not.
Jonathan
We're
takes
not
this.
rooting for any players specifically. We are
So I gotta
just
go for the kid.
commentating.
Yeah, I just gotta go for
Yeah,
the
I
kid. That's
see.
what I
I
meant by
see. I
that.
see. All right. So Kaido just immediately throws that hand back, which nope, no, thank you.
All right, so
Kid, however, keeping the hand. It is a fine hand. It's got a Momo in it. It's got a cat in it. It's got a 7-drop from the looks of it, or a Basil, 7 and Basil. Okay, so we've got to play pretty much every turn, which is good. That's a nice hand. It's a very nice hand.
all right, looking pretty solid. Looking pretty solid for that that kid player. I would keep that.
Yeah. And then we've got Kaido shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Really, really wants to randomize that deck. Please don't let these Onis stick together. I need one, not four.
Yeah, we really need to maybe I don't know how I don't think I've seen a pile shuffle by the purple player at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a pile shuffle would be good. I really do enjoy pile shuffling specifically on that in Kaido because all the 2Ks end up sticking because you 2K so
Yeah.
often in succession.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, all of this shuffling is burning time, and Kaido does not. Kaido's not in the position to go into time.
Yeah, no.
So
I don't think this game will go into time by any means,
it
but
could.
it could. It
It could.
definitely could.
All right. Now the question is, who is gonna open the game?
All right. So again, the Kaido player, like as you said. All right.
All right, sorry for those difficulties. We saw a Momo get played, use its effect, and miss. And then we see Kaido play Onigashima. We do see a Basil coming down here. Now, Kaido on
How do you feel
7
about that?
Dom. Just the Basil himself
He's
chilling.
he's just big.
He's chilling. He's chilling.
He's not like a
And
king.
speaking of big, Kaido is like, okay, I dare you.
Yeah,
I dare
that is
you.
a big chungus.
Now, probably see a 7-drop come down this turn on the kid player side. We're just going to build our board. It's
Basil is a great card, but you know what
mhm,
card answers Basil really, really well that most decks don't have?
the 9-drop.
The 9-drop, man.
Yeah,
The
and
9
if we see
drops,
a 9-drop here, it's pretty big. If we see a 10-drop here, it's pretty big. Okay,
that's
we go
it's a
5 at leader.
solid board.
This is bait. He's like, go ahead, block it. I dare you. I don't even need to 9-drop or 10-drop if you block.
So he goes, "Yep."
Yeah, and we're gonna see a 10-drop if he's got one. This is a great. Oh, he's got a 9-drop.
Oh my goodness.
He has both
Jeez,
options.
he's really got it all, but I think
Yeah.
the 9 goes
Goodbye, Basil.
very well into this board stage, clearing the Basil, which makes it so that the big chungus doesn't really feel bad, and then you can just rush with this
Just
10 if you
hit
want,
there. Yeah.
and
Go
that
ahead.
is a big number. You just kind of have to eat this.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Go ahead. Attack Big Chungus. It's fine.
No, no,
I've got Kaido.
and there's still one Dawn up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
So kid player is quite on the back foot here.
This game
Um,
started off very quickly. It got very bad very quickly for the kid player.
Absolutely, absolutely. This has Momo just started a huge spiral here. And then
I wouldn't be
there's our
so
8-drop.
fast to blame the Momo, but my
Oh, I
goodness,
am.
that did not help.
I blame Momo. I absolutely blame Momo. This is all Momo's fault.
Dang it, Momo.
Yep, all Momo's fault. Okay, so we see a tempo kaiju. If we could 10-drop here, we would. Unfortunately, we can't 10-drop until next turn, so these cards are going to exist on the board, but you're at 2 life, buddy. I'm threatening lethal.
Oh, you're threatening a lot more than lethal, man. This is, oh
Oh
my
no.
goodness. So we're gonna see, it's just one
Oh
card after
no.
the other. It really is God, this is the Kaido special, man.
Yes, it is. All right, so I've got the ability to do a lot here.
Yeah, so it was the Oni into the Chungus into the 9 into the 6.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Let's go 5 at your leader. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't really have to
Yeah,
invest
don't have to.
anything
We're
into your
countering out of
Kaido.
that.
Yep.
Into
That's gonna
any of
fetch a
this.
card.
None of these cards need an investment,
No,
honestly.
that's gonna fetch a card. Then you can,
Wow.
9 is a really, really good number. That'll fetch a card.
Is. Now, do you think next turn Kid is just going to go for game?
He has to.
I think so. I
Like
think
he
so.
has legitimately no other option. The issue is there are a ton of cards in the Kaido player's hand.
Yeah, there are. And 3 more life to get through.
Yeah.
Bagawas, Blast Breaths. All right, we're going to drop the 1.
The only
So
way.
we really want that Kaido to burn right now. That's what we really want. Please burn me, Kaido, please.
Yeah, but
And Kaido's going to be like, you know what? I'm not even turning this
what?
9-drop
I am
sideways.
so okay with this. It is insane, right? Because him not keeping Dawn up for Bagwas for
Oh, yeah.
Blast
Now, this
Breath
it gives me a chance.
gives me sort of a window to win this game.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be tough. The issue is all of your attacks need to connect. Like
Mm-hmm.
every single one.
Yep. So right now he's thinking, do I burn? Do I use my leader effect? Do I drop to 1 Dawn? Alternatively, I could just not attack with this Kaido. Or I could attack with the Kaido. It probably does the damage if I do, and then I get to keep all my Dawn.
Ah, it's too tough, man.
It's tough.
It's
It is.
tough. I
But I
I
think we're
think
just
you I think
gonna...
you start off with the Kaido. If he defends this, then you can
Well,
burn
you can
if you
burn next turn.
want.
You
You
can
don't
burn
really have
next
to
turn.
burn right now.
You
I
don't.
hate burning at the end step.
Yeah.
Burning
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end is the worst thing to
It
do.
is. It is. You'll see Kaido players do that sometimes because they want to maximize the start of the turn and get 2 Dawn back instead of getting 0 Dawn back.
Yeah,
And
but
we're just going to see
still.
the snap take there. And now Kaido doesn't need to burn. Now all of Kaido's Dawn can be used to attack.
So we're down to the final two turns.
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
boy.
So this 8 drop, this 7 drop, that Paradise Waterfall, we've got some cards. We've got some
We
cards.
do certainly have an assortment of cards,
Hmm. Now we have a 7 coming in. This might just catch a block.
right? But I guess what we need to do is really sit behind this ace. So we're what is our game plan here? Try to get him to
Survive.
0.
Survive.
Well, of course, yes, let us survive. But I think we're trying to get him to 0, maybe get him to 1, and then survive off the back
Yeah.
of the 8 drop.
Yeah. We need our kaijus to win.
Yeah.
We really do. We need these kids to lift some weight. We need...
The thing is, these kids swing at such fantastic intervals. We're gonna have a 7 on the leader, which is perfect.
And
We're
then an
gonna
8, then a
an 8,
9.
a 9, and then we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dawn available to us. We can play a killer. We can keep up a punk. We can keep up a paradise.
Play some
Very
blockers.
solid. Play some blockers. No, that's what we must do. But blockers are susceptible to like
Uh,
kings, most
removal.
likely. Yeah. So I would love to keep up Dawn for some event pressure.
Hmm. Now we do see Queen in the Kaido player's hand, which is pretty nice. Okay, so we're
And
gonna go
we're
ahead and
gonna
get
double.
out of
Yep.
that.
We're gonna get out of the 7. We're gonna see the 8. This is will either fetch a block or fetch two 2Ks.
The 8's probably a damage. Yeah, the 8's a damage.
So then the 9 is a block, or does
The
he
9's
just
a block.
want to?
No, the 9's a block. The 9 is 100% a block. That mm.
I mean, we're already. If he takes this damage, we're already
we're
halfway
we're
there.
in
We're
kill
halfway
range. We're
there.
in kill range.
Well, he does have a couple queens, literally a couple queens.
Yeah, but you
But you
have
don't
to
want to do
respect
that.
Izo.
Yes.
You have to respect Nikomamushi. That
Well,
this
Izo.
Higurashi is so much more important. I don't think taking that damage was a good idea. I genuinely don't.
And we'll see a killer. Yep.
And
And
we have
then leaving up, so we
4
have the
Dawn.
blocker, and then keeping up 4 like that.
Hmm. Absolutely. Not putting a Dawn on the killer, hoping to draw another Paradise Waterfall.
Well, he can. He understands that the draw is.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Well, I mean, he's just gonna bluff now. He's bluffing too.
Hey, the Punk Gibson bluff is very, very strong, right? And that's why not blocking with this this
Higurashi.
2 drop
So,
blocker feels exceptionally bad because as we have the availability to Punk Gibson it, it's going to be very, very
yeah,
difficult for us to defend the following turn.
absolutely, absolutely. It should have been blocked with. 100%. I do believe that that was a misstep on the Kaido player, and he's also got like 2 queens in hand. And to play 2 queens this turn, he would have to sacrifice a card on his
He'd
board.
have to sacrifice the entire turn.
Yeah. I just I
The
I
turn,
just don't
nothing
agree.
happens if he does
Yeah.
that. He doesn't contest the 8 drop. He just plays 2 queens, which
Yeah.
is I don't think is a winning position either.
No.
It would just stall a turn, which is exactly what the kid player wants to do in the first place.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately, I do believe that was a misstep.
Yeah, will it cost him the entire game though?
Very possibly. Very possibly. Because now you're at 1. Even if you were to clear, you can't even 10 drop this
You can, you know,
because
you
you're at
can't.
1.
You just die.
If you were at 2, you could have.
True. No, but even this board, 10 dropping it doesn't feel fantastic, but being at 2 life makes you feel so much more
No,
comfortable.
I think it feels pretty good, but just because you do have the ability to discard a couple cards out of your opponent's hand, he'll probably use his
Yeah,
his Punk
you would say
Gibson
bait
to-
and then go
yep,
10.
Yeah,
Understood.
absolutely,
Bait,
absolutely.
go 10, and then hope that he doesn't have a bunch of blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. That is definitely a game plan, but we have set up for this one.
Mm-hmm. We have.
We definitely have set for this sort of line, and being at one life is just terrifying, man. Versus Kid
Oh, it is. It is absolutely.
and Kaido.
Could
And
could have
versus
been it
Kaido.
too.
Could have been it
Could have
too.
been it too.
So we'll see 1 Dawn plays and just contest for 8. Now
8 is the easiest 7 drop block. Use Paradise Waterfall if you really wanted to. You just counter out of it.
I think he wants to keep Waterfall as another 2K, if that makes any sense.
No, it's fine, but
But
the
it was
issue is
free.
Kaido is in trouble right now. Kaido is in a lot of trouble.
Certainly. Certainly.
I don't know how Kaido's getting through 12-12 at this point in time. Not to mention it's 10-10, 8-9.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot coming at you.
Yep. Uh, okay. Trying to think about how to use the Dawn.
It could just be a bunch of nines. It could be 9 4 times. Be 4 9s, man.
It could.
Which seems
Really good.
terrifying.
That seems really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
4 9s is probably the way to do it.
Yeah, 4 9s is a very good number threshold.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, especially against Kaido.
Yeah, he's gonna have to keep up Dawn, but I don't even think in his hand I see any events.
No,
Oh
he's in
boy.
a lot of trouble right now.
Oh boy.
Not blocking there put him in a very bad position. We see a 10 here.
So this is gonna
Punk
probably
Gibson,
fetch a punk to
Yeah.
suspend the 2. Yep,
which we have another blocker to replace it with,
that's fine.
and then this will
But
take the
doesn't feel great.
killer,
This will eat the killer.
most likely. He can counter out of it, but
Why?
why? Yeah, exactly. And there goes the killer.
There's no reason
Yeah.
to.
And then we're gonna go and slam a queen,
Sure.
and we're gonna hope to draw 2 blast breaths or a Bagawa blast breath. That would be very
Gosh, you were so optimistic.
so optimistic.
Just off the top 2 blast breath, please.
Yeah, it looks like he in fact did not draw 2
Yeah,
blast
at
breath
your
off the top. That's a
service.
shame. That's a shame.
But will he dump the Onigashima?
No. He
Unfortunately, we're
hand-
gonna have to dump the
does
combo
not.
power.
Players, if you want to play in the 12 p.m.
Let's
3v3
see,
tournament,
what?
giving out a lot of tickets, you can go by the vendor booth and do registration. If you don't have a team, we're
Well, we
also
can replace
accepting
this
team
Higurashi with a
applications. If
Higurashi.
you want us to put you
Sometimes we
in team
Higurashi the
3
Higurashi.
Yeah,
and you
we
wanna
need to
play, just go to the booth, give them your info,
we need to
and
discard
we'll
a.
find you a team for the 12 p.m.
It looks like we have a 7-drop king. We really need to discard that here. We cannot discard counter power. We
Oh my
cannot discard a
God,
2K
2K?
counter power.
Oi, 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 oi. And then we're gonna replace it with another one. Is that enough?
No.
We're threatening one Dawn here. What if he top decks the breath off of the last life? It's pretty good.
It looks like he drew a Punk Gibson for turn.
Yeah.
And kid's like, okay, 9-9-9-9. Let's see you get out of
He
this.
knows the numbers.
And let's see you get out of
This is a
this.
seasoned gentleman. The thing is, the queen does kind of. Does it make a difference? I don't think so.
Now, interestingly enough, Kaido can get out of it.
For now. There's no reason to attach your Dawn early. Just, if you're gonna do it, just.
Yeah. So,
Oh boy.
okay, all right.
7. So he's gonna take another turn off.
Yeah.
He's gonna give Kaido one more turn.
I think Kaido only needs one more turn.
I think so, man.
Yeah. This 7 is you just counter out. You can very easily counter out of this. It's not even hard to do. It looks like he has an X-Drake and a Jack. I think that's you just easily discard those 2 cards to counter out of this. Yeah, and okay, we're just gonna go ahead and
so we'll
block.
go 9.
Now 9 is so much more difficult to get out of.
That was a weird block,
That
man.
was.
That was a weird block.
That was these Higurashis have been a little strange.
Yeah, because he
Certainly.
could certainly have. If you can counter out of something, I feel like you should
You
counter
should,
out of
yeah.
something, right? That's very easy mantra to fall behind, right? Before the big boys come at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Block for the big boys.
And you definitely can't take this attack. If you take this attack, then you've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 coming at you,
Maybe
potentially. He's got a queen to block it if he wanted.
Was he afraid of like a cat viper coming down and like this is like a bait
Cat-
turn, right? Going 7 and then cat
Sure,
viper.
sure. Cat Viper would have already come down, though.
I don't know what he's playing around with that block. It's very interesting. So the 9's going to take up the queen, which is
Great.
Okay.
If I'm
I'm
Kid, I'm
super
super
down.
happy with that.
I'm down. That was
9 to the face.
yeah. So this will probably get countered out of. He seems like he has 2 2Ks as well as a Black Maria. I don't think he really wants to lose the Black Maria, but
I mean,
sometimes it is what it is.
He's taking this damage. Like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
That's so dangerous. So can you defend another 9? Oh,
And
this
then
is
pass.
so
We're just going
baseball.
to pass.
Oh, damn it, God.
Oh, my goodness.
Whew.
Oh, my goodness.
That was so tense.
This is interesting. So
If I was the
Jonathan
Kaido player
Jonathan
there-
is super passive. He does not have the bloodlust. He doesn't want to go in.
No, he loses if he goes in there.
Oh no, he does.
100%.
He absolutely
actually
does.
lost. So the Kaido player should like he was trying to bait that was as like I
Mhm.
shouldn't take this life. And then he takes it, and then he wanted to bait him for the second hit.
All right, so let's see. I mean, it's looking really good for Kaido right now. Jonathan has 4 cards in hand.
One of them being a Pump Gibson,
Yeah,
one of
one
them being a Paradise
a Paradise
Waterfall,
Waterfall,
and
yeah.
then two 2Ks,
And that's
and
it.
then
That's it. That's the hand.
I'm not sure if there's one more card. Nope,
No,
I think
that's
that
the
was it.
hand.
I think I
That's
called
the
the whole
hand.
hand.
That's
All
the whole
right.
hand.
Can he play around that?
I don't know. I mean, you could easily start with like a 10 or a 12 at the 8 drop.
The issue is, can you beat that hand, or can you survive the next turn? And I'm not sure he can do both.
Well, he has Queen Black Maria, so he absolutely can survive the next turn if he clears
If
the
he
board.
clears the full board.
Yeah.
If he
Well,
clears the full board.
so the 7 drop will die before the 8 drop dies
Certainly.
because he has no life left.
Yeah.
So I think if you just put 2 on your Kaido and swing, I think you take the 7 drop out. I think that's good enough to take the 7 drop.
2 on your Kaido, so a 12?
So a 12.
Mm.
Then you can put 1 on your king, go
The
8.
king gets paradised, I think. He needs to he needs that value.
Well, you need to go big enough that Paradise doesn't untap the 7 drop.
The thing is, since he didn't paradise on the previous turn, maybe you're thinking to yourself, maybe he won't do it.
Oh, see?
Oh, dang.
See,
He
I'm telling
identified
you.
the 12.
I think that this pretty
This
much
has to
forces.
get comboed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Punk plus a 2K.
Is that he has
Whoa.
another
I
punk
told
in
you, he has
hand?
another card, so it's another
Another.
waterfall.
We're gonna go ahead and burn the waterfall.
And then waterfall restand the kit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oof, that other waterfall. I don't see him getting through this because this is gonna be the other paradise. The other paradise. Oh, not paradise. The other Punk Gibson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is looking pretty over. That weird
That
Higurashi block.
those
it
two
came up
bizarre
so
blocks
much, so
have
bizarre.
put us in this situation.
They have. They
We
have.
did not have
If
to
we had
be
just
here.
countered out
We
of the
did not
7,
have to be here.
then we would have 1 life left. If
Then
we
we
had
could've-
blocked the turn before, we'd have 2 life left right now. We didn't need to be in this situation.
I don't like
And
being
now we
here.
are.
I
No.
don't want to be here.
No, I don't want to be here either. And now we don't even have Dawn left open if our queen draws a splash breath.
Oh, Lord. So we're going to go, and he's attaching, what, 3 more Dawn into the Chungus?
Yeah. Like, even if this clears the 8 drop, you still have to get through the 7 drop and get through his hand.
The A-drop is a 9K, correct? I mean, sorry, the Chungus is a 9K?
Chungus is
So
9.
this is a 12
This
currently?
is a 12. Yeah, this is a 12.
So he's trying to play around. Oh, and it's going to fail, too.
It's going to fail too. Yeah, we're just going to Punk Gibson out of this.
Punk
We're just not
2K.
even going to...
Punk
We're
2K.
not, we're not even going to think about this. You know what?
Then the 7-drop
that's
will
enough.
block whatever comes its way, and then we'll finish it off the following turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we trying to do with the rest of our Dawn here?
Nothing.
Oh, boy. Well,
Looks like we have a hand of a couple queens. That's not really helpful anymore. There's just the Higurashis, man. I think that they have cost Kaido this game. Kaido had such a
Certainly.
strong open,
certainly.
such a strong line, and
One of the craziest opens, actually. Let us not forget, this is the game where we went Oni into Chungus into 9 into 6.
I know.
Like, I thought it was over.
And Kid had no board,
and Kid had
8 drop.
legitimately nothing, and then he just went 8-drop.
Yeah,
And he
And
paused the game for a little bit.
he did.
Took a couple
and
hits, and then now he's able to have put the game in
it's
his
completely
favor.
stabilized.
Correct.
And the blocks could have been used more efficiently. We could have countered out of a 7K.
It was the terminology I want to say. It was the Kaido's game to lose. You
It
know
was.
what I mean?
It was snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see how he wants to finish. He still has 5 Dawn available. How do you use this Dawn? I legitimately don't even know.
I don't know either. I really don't.
know.
There's still 1 card in hand too.
It's a 2K.
Oh, I know. But I mean, if you're the Kaido player, you're like, my opponent still has a card in hand.
You can't even
It's Kid.
afford to play around it. That's the worst part.
It is. It is. It's like I need to put 3 Dawn on this king at least, and then the 7 drop goes down.
How
And then
crazy
what?
would it be if the 7-drop gets to live this turn?
How crazy would it be if they both get to live this
That's what I'm
turn? I think we're
saying.
about to see
That's
that
what I'm
craziness.
saying.
I think we are about to see that crazy. Because he's thinking, do I play this queen? But that queen doesn't do anything anymore. All right, and we're gonna just see an 8 here.
Oh
I
my
don't
goodness, this
think
is.
it's just not enough.
I don't know. This is big tough. This
We're,
is.
we're gonna go 9. That way, if he blocks
But
for whatever reason,
but you know that
It's-
9 is just. I mean, he has to be greedy, but you know it just won't work.
yeah,
That's the
you just
sad
you
part.
hope that it's like a Momo or a cat in his hand.
Yeah,
If it's a cat viper in his hand, you're like, please counter
it's
with
the
it,
final card,
and it's an
and
Naboo.
it's a 2K,
Yeah.
so he's just gonna defend it. He has to push this 7 drop off the board by swinging in with 8,
Mm-hmm. So we're
and then we
gonna
leave 1 Dawn up for a blast, perhaps.
that we don't have.
That we don't, but we bluff.
Yeah, we do bluff. We do bluff.
But this is now the 9-11-11.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. That's big.
That is the final turn.
Mm-hmm. And we just not even. We're
No,
attacking. It's
card,
attacking.
Yeah,
It's
no, that
attacking,
card
yeah.
is legitimately being discarded for leader effect.
No, I meant the
Oh.
9 drops already sideways.
Hello.
We're-
Just it attacked.
We're attacking. We're attacking with this. This is happening. I don't even need to see the card I draw.
Give me 3 cards,
And there it
and
is.
we'll see
There
the
it is, yep.
concede from Kevin Lay.
And there goes the last Kaido in the tournament. We now have Kid moving on to the semifinals.
My
Very
goodness.
interesting. So we saw a very commanding game 1 from Kaido. We saw a very nail biter game 2. And then game 3, it seemed like some miscalculations
On the Higurashi.
on the Higarashis really cost that game. Like, again, if you had blocked with the Higurashi, when you saw him have the Punk Gibson, you know it's there. And then the following turn, you countered out of the 7K.
Of the
You had
7K.
2 more life.
Yeah.
You had, because he had to replace a Higurashi to play a Higurashi. You didn't even need to do that. You could have just blocked with it. Then made your attacks, make him Punk Gibson nothing.